All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack, and snub might be an understatement, as former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick will have to wait to go into Canton, and that being the Hall of Fame, as he wasn't voted in on the first ballot, falling short of the 40 out of 50 votes needed during his first year of eligibility. And this has so many people in the sports world scratching their heads and potentially shouting at their TVs as well, including his former quarterback, Tom Brady, on a Seattle sports talk radio show said, quote, "If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has 8 rings, including 6 as the head coach for the Patriots, second most all time in NFL wins, only behind Don Shula." Let's continue on this conversation here on Live Now from Fox and bring into it TMZ executive producer Michael Babcock. Michael, thank you so much. And obviously, Bill Belichick is a Hall of Famer. He will eventually be a Hall of Famer. But what was your initial reaction?
Hey, Andy, shock. I mean, just pure and utter shock. I could not believe. Look, there is no shortage of players and coaches out there, and the debate rages on. Are they Hall of Famers? Are they not? Obviously, Eli Manning is one of those guys who that conversation is revolving around now. Somebody who there is no debate over is Bill Belichick. I mean, look at his resume. I mean, to have won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, to have won 2 more as an assistant coach, 8 total, to have 313 wins when you consider that they're playing 16, 17 games a season. I mean, his resume is unmatched. And to think that because of what is likely personal gripes, that voters out there, at least 10, at least more than, at least 10 plus, decided that Bill should not have the privilege of going in on the first attempt, which is an honor by itself, right? I mean, there's a Hall of Famer, and then you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. For them to take that away from him, it's not about whether you like Bill or you think he's a rosy, warm guy. None of that. Throw it all out the window. It doesn't matter. Just look at, on its merits, is he a Hall of Famer? The obvious answer is yes. I just think it's a joke that these voters didn't put him in. It's crazy to me.
And you had to kind of rub it in a little bit with the Eli Manning thing, because obviously he gave him one of the worst losses of his career in that Super Bowl. So I'm
a Giants guy, Andy.
I did not miss that.
I'm from Jersey. I'm a Giants guy.
I was not. I did see that one coming. Let's talk about some of the support, though, because Tom Brady obviously has his back for the quarterback for so many of those Super Bowls. He says he will go to Canton, and when he does, there will be an outpouring of support. We saw so many people on social media express their disappointment. Can you talk about that? Who stood out to you? Because obviously we saw Jimmy Johnson, Deion Sanders. There's just so many great members of the NFL football community there that stood out. Does anybody stand out for you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a bunch of people did. And I was, not that I didn't think that there would be outrage, I did, but I didn't think that it would seemingly annoy as many people from different walks of life as it did. And it really did, because social media lit up, as you know, Andy. You've got Patrick Mahomes to LeBron James to President Trump and everybody in between just saying, what? I mean, this cannot be. And I think ultimately all that's been done here is Bill Belichick has had today, and for the last 24 hours now, people incessantly talking about his career and his achievements. He has not taken any hit. If anything, I think this has built up his legacy even more. The only one that's hurt today is the Hall of Fame's credibility. And I'm not saying the Hall of Fame's going under or is crumbling or doesn't mean anything. Obviously, I think like most everything, this will pass. But as we sit here today, I think it's the Hall of Fame that's really taken a big hit. But yeah, I think President Trump weighing in, that probably surprised me more than most of the other people.
Everybody has an opinion, and it feels like outside of the voters, everyone believed he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And obviously with his historic career, all the wins, all the Super Bowls, there has been some scandal along the way, in Spygate, in Deflategate, in terms of this. And now we see Bill Belichick and how these voters view this. Obviously, they're private votes. Tom Brady is eligible in 2028. Is there any chance that he's not a first ballot player as well?
That you know what, Andy, I think that's a great question to ask because if we're to believe the reports that this was punishment or penance for Deflategate and Spygate. So, who was the star quarterback? Who was, at least for Deflategate, who was intimately involved with that? Tom Brady. So now, yeah, what happens when Tom's on the ballot? Are we to believe that these voters have the guts to keep Tom Brady out? I don't think so. I think it's a lot easier for them as Tom Brady, or excuse me, as Bill Belichick is sort of wasting away, with UNC right now, not having a great season last year, being the butt of jokes because of his young girlfriend. I think it's a lot easier to keep him out and to snub him than it is Tom Brady. I don't think they've got the you know what to do with the Tom Brady.
I don't think so either. And can you imagine what social media will look like if that happens? That will burn to the ground. Michael Babcock, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Great insight here on obviously a major story in sports.
Anytime. Thank you for having me, Andy.
All right, thanks so much. All right, great conversation as always with Michael Babcock there at TMZ. It's Bill Belichick. He will assuredly eventually reach Canton, Ohio, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame with all the 300-plus wins, the 8 Super Bowls, 6 as the head coach with New England, 2 as an assistant with the New York Giants under Bill Parcells. But obviously, this year was not his year, and just to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, a little less so than Major League Baseball and other sports, but still an accolade in and of itself. All right, I'm Andy Mack here on Live Now from Fox as Bill Belichick, now the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels, not a first-ballot Hall of Famer. We'll see if next year is the key.